It's week 9 of the NFL, and the spotlight is on George Kittle. He had a standout game 1 week ago with 3 touchdown catches. It's the 49ers and the Chiefs, and it comes your way next.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Coming up, a rematch of Super Bowl 54. As it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in week 9? This taken in at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here's the Chiefs offense for their first possession, and it's Patrick Mahomes at quarterback.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going to the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
Throwing at the outset, here's Mahomes. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. You look at this Niner defense. They're a top 5 unit right now against the pass in the league. In fact, they sit at number 5.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Back to the air on second down. It's Mahomes. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. And a penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
Automatic first down.
Pacheco gets it up the gut. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. Well, the numbers on the ground for Pacheco last week, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Hands it off out of the gun. Only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Well, this defense for the Niners, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, You'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference and trying to explain that?
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 22 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown.
11 touchdowns on the ground this season, and the pride really extends throughout the entire offense. And in this case, I'm focusing on the offensive line. The leverage, the ability to get downfield, make that extra block in order to give him more space to run. They really look forward to him carrying the football because they're going to get him to the end zone.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Purdy completes this one here to McCaffrey, and they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. You talk about this Chiefs defense. Now they come into top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. From the 8, they've got it 1st and goal. Here's Purdy. That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's Deebo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mahomes. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got him there complete. And he will have the Chiefs' first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And points result, we'll call this play significant.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Trying to find his tight end, Kelce, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the Niners will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10 at the 45. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Back to the ground on 1st, it's McCaffrey. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now Purdy. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take over here up near the 40. So setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter from KC. It's the Chiefs in possession of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with it. Led to an incompletion.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Now it's Mahomes again. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have the Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. And Mahomes picking up the first as he slides and hits the deck. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Mahomes now to throw. He'll drop this off to Pacheco. And the Chiefs are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
Mahomes going to throw. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
And it feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football, and that's exactly what happened there.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll elect not to run with it. And a fair catch on the kickoff will move the ball to the 25. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go. We've seen teams got the hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time.
Back to the air on 2nd down, Purdy. Well, that'll be incomplete. Boy, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up the 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Jones now in motion left. Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Pacheco once again. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Now a 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Mahomes. That is caught, fighting his way through contact. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the 1st down.
Now Mahomes. That ball caught. It's Rice. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Chewing up big yardage. This one goes for 20.
I tell you what, if this is any quarterback other than Patrick Mahomes, I'm telling you how this is an ill-advised throw. But 15 is so good on the move with all those different arm angles and releases that all I'm saying now is that's a gorgeous play.
They'll run here with Pacheco. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Once more, it's Pacheco. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fair catch going to be taken, and this will be moved out to the 25. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Purdy looking to throw. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. He's to the 15. Touchdown, 49ers. Christian McCaffrey, 76 yards. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 14. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Isaiah Pacheco and the offense back out. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And a quick throw there is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. On play action, it's Mahomes. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. On 1st down, it's Purdy. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
In motion left goes Jones. Throwing here, Purdy. He'll get this out right here to McCaffrey. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
On 1st down, Purdy. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And some room to maneuver. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
Now Purdy, he's going to change the look here. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Second down and a yard. Here's Purdy. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Wiggles free. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
But they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's second and goal. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Now they send a man in motion right. Now receiver in motion left. They go option right on second and goal. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Brock Purdy as the first half is winding down. And the 49ers have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. So that really an almost perfect drive as they chew up some clock and wind up scoring late in this first half.
Chance to double dip here because they're going to get the ball first to start the third quarter, so they potentially could go up 2 scores before the other guys get a chance to do anything.
Point after, right down the middle, and the lead is now 21-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Chiefs going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are. This team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Final play of the half, Purdy. And that is incomplete. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here. Head past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the 3rd quarter. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the 2nd half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. This offense ready for the first drive of the 3rd quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun 2nd half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the 2nd half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Mahomes, he's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll swing this out to Tony. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. So from the 37, here's second down and 2. And again, it's Mahomes. Able to find Dre here. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They run it with Pacheco from the gun. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 115 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
Mahomes firing complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Mahomes to throw on second down. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's second and 10. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Side and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth down here.
kick here is good. And with it, they'll take the lead at 24-21. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
The 49ers getting set to trot out there. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Second down and right back to McCaffrey. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Purdy. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense.
So he gets too far beyond the line, and that's an easy call for the official. Now Purdy. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Purdy. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Purdy. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Mahomes. And that is incomplete here.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Mahomes now to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelsey. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second down and 3. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's second and 3. To throw, it's Mahomes. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Nick Bosa in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
And they visited the end zone frequently in this one, and obviously they wanted another one. But give credit to the defense there. They may not make the comeback, but pride showed. Good sack on that play.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a first down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
Butker's kick here is good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. That's caught downfield by Kittle. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 57 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to provide a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
You see Purdy, he's going to shift him around. They go play action here on first down. On the move to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. 2nd and 10. Purdy now to throw. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And the Niners are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
McCaffrey will score. Touchdown, 49ers.
Well, we talk a lot about Christian McCaffrey and what he can do in the open field, and it's easy to gloss over how tough he can be to stop near the goal line. And he shows you just how tough he is on that carry as he takes it into the end zone.
Now the extra point. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The ball back to the Chiefs, and Isaiah Pacheco. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
Yeah, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. Open man right side is Rice. 2 yards on the pickup there. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And he is caught. And just shedding him off there. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. That's complete to Tony. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll try for the first with Pacheco. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. 132 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a first down in field goal range already. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Throwing now is Mahomes. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. A big play in this football game. 3rd down and 1. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but...
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Isaiah Pacheco with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Chiefs put together a 4th quarter drive to take the lead. Back to throw, Mahomes. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes can prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
So Purdy and the Niners down by 7. A minute 24 to go. Their 5-game winning streak hanging in the balance here. Purdy to throw. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
And this is one of those gotta-have-it drives. You can't start much better than that. Big yardage there. And just as important, he's able to get out of bounds. And now, that changes everything.
Plenty of time to work with here, but the timeouts, they're gone. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Purdy to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
To throw is Purdy. Incomplete on the deep ball.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Purdy to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And that was picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be going dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Throwing, Purdy. is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one. What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building